Hello everyone! Welcome to another Let's Play of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. My name is Anna Murdahl, and today we are going back to trial in order to save our friend Maya, who has been framed by her horrible aunt. Excuse me. Nick?
Yeah?
Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? Just like me.
Yes? Why?
I was just thinking about how strong she is. Honey, she's not strong. She just has a whip. That's not the same thing. She's been in Germany all this time by herself, and she's so grown up. I don't know why you would assume that she doesn't have family there, but okay. I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me and, well, honey, you've done amazing things. You're a spirit medium. You're about to become the spirit medium master of a village. You have helped me solve many cases. I don't remember how many, but many. You don't whip random people without their consent, which is also good. You're doing all right, kiddo. I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. And on top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. But I think you're really strong too, Maya. After all you've been through. Good morning. The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm so happy for you. Hey, good morning, Pearly. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Huh? What do you mean? My mother is coming today to show her support. Yeah, that's right, Pearly. Hey, Pearls. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please, it's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Pearly, not this again. Please, can you do this for us, Pearls? Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later, then. I'll leave you to your alone time. That way she doesn't have to see her mother get on the stand. Nick? This way, Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. Oh, that's why he did it. What do you mean? What's going on? Oh no, have we not told her? Sure, that's gonna be fine.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. I'm sorry, what? What? Hold on just a second. I'm not actually sure it's recording. And we're back. Okay, definitely recording. Good, good. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool, wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. Good for you? Uh-huh. That's nice, Ms. Von Karma. Glad to see you're in such good spirits today, Ms. Fay.
It's true what they say. Women really are scary when they fight. Oh, Phoenix. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session.
That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct?
Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was where it should not have been.
Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin.
Alright, let's hear it.
The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point.
What? But, Ms. Von Karma, how do you explain this picture? Are you saying that the person in this picture is not the defendant?
I never said that wasn't the defendant.
Then what is the meaning of this?
All I am saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room, and I believe that is when she dropped this key.
Can you substantiate your claim?
Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fey, to the stand.
Just as I suspected. Aunt Morgan. Poor Mia. She seems really torn by this.
Witness, name and occupation? My name is Morgan Fey, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking.
I'm sorry, but what do you mean, in a manner of speaking?
Ow! I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? Yes, that is correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then.
Spirit severing technique?
A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world. That is...
Yes, that is... Ow!
You, be quiet. Now, witness. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct.
What in the world could have...
Mystic Maya escaped from the room.
What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order! Order! Ms. Fey, please testify to this court what happened during that time.
Your Honor, I will try my best.
I think someone just upped the ante on this trial.
After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber.
This is interesting, because if she hadn't come here to lie, it would actually have been really hard to prove what happened. But now I think it'll be a lot easier. So thank you, Aunt Morgan.
I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand, and she was in a daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that.
Why have you hidden this until now?
I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise.
That's right. She is simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Why is she making it a point to take a stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. I'm not worried.
After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber.
Just now, you said those two. Who were the two people you were referring to?
I was referring to that foreign lady and yourself, good sir.
Lotta's not a foreigner, despite how she talks.
Oh, is that so? I'm sorry. I simply could not understand her atrocious English. Not to mention, she looks awful.
I can already see people in the Heartland gearing up for a riot.
In any case, I have already sent the repair bill to your office, Mr. Wright.
Thanks. What did you do after that, Miss Fay?
I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady contact the police.
Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police? If there was a possibility of escape, one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that is a very good point.
At that time, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another...
Another what, madam?
Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself.
I want to hear the end of that sentence. There was another reason you wanted us both out of that room, wasn't there? You must testify. Why did you chase us out of the room?
I simply do not wish for there to be more victims. The lives of both the good sir and that camera woman may be in danger, is what I thought to myself.
Well, that was very noble of you, Miss Fay. This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her and a bad one of us.
Looks like she caught us napping. That's my aunt for you.
Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Miss Fay, please continue.
A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand, and she was in a daze.
During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head, and this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement?
I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie.
Why would you lie about something like that?
It is very painful for me to say this, however.
The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. She was covering for Maya. So, you were covering for the defendant?
Well, yes. It was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. That the renegade Mystic Maya had done something very unexpected.
Something unexpected? What, pray tell, did she— Oh!
This witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there is always later.
Yes, very well. Why does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach?
Now, witness, continue with what happened. She thrust me away from herself and escaped from the room.
Was it really that easy for her to escape from you?
I'm ashamed to admit such a thing, however, yes.
You are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There is no way she could have escaped from you so easily.
Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember that at the time, the defendant was not physically Maya Fey.
Growing old is such a mysterious thing. Trust me, I know firsthand.
Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called.
If she had run away, wouldn't you have given chase right away?
Well, yes, I would have. However, with great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while.
You fainted?
I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor.
How long were you unconscious?
I'm not sure. About 10 minutes, perhaps?
And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time.
Happy? Witness, elaborate on that point for us. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that.
Is that because you were unconscious?
Well, yes.
Great. Now what? So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went.
I would think that's obvious, good sir.
If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself.
It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this, but the key word here is this witness.
What do you mean by that?
It means she has another witness up her sleeve. That's what. It looks like Miss Von Karma is ready to move on her next witness.
That's enough. From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And from what she has said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber.
I hope this isn't going to come back and bite us in the butt. Now let's take the next logical step and ask, where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber?
Yes. That is exactly what we should— Ow!
Be quiet, you! Now then, what the escapee had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person.
Oh good, the co-conspirator is going to help bury us. She went to speak with someone? Who was it?
The prosecution calls Miss Eenie Meenie, who was sleeping in the side room at the time.
Eenie Meenie?
I think you can see where this is headed. Witness, name and occupation. Okay, so my name is, Eenie Meenie. I'm, researching, parapsychology stuff as the, university.
What is this parapsychology?
Let's see, it's I guess most people call it occult stuff.
Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means.
Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself.
Yes, sir.
Now then, Miss Meenie, after the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? I guess? If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is all right, isn't it, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine for my sake.
When the channeling started, I was, sleeping in the side room. A little later, someone came into the room, really suddenly. It was, oh my god, totally my sister. I, hadn't seen her in, so long. I was so happy. In, a sad way. My sister, she, told me something, totally terrible.
Now hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey?
Really now, Your Honor, Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time.
Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of this witness's sister?
Yes, Meenie. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic.
Oh, well, this is...
Witness. Yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Do I totally, really have to? Of course.
Miss Meenie, please.
My sister, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person.
That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair. Isn't it, Eni? She took her revenge? Are you sure that's what she said?
Yes. There, are you satisfied, Your Honor?
I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge.
It is a bit hard to swallow.
However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth.
The end.
What do you think, Mr. Wright? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. This testimony just now, was it all made up? Was it just one huge lie?
Of course it was, Phoenix.
Mia, what do you mean?
It's well constructed, but that's all it is.
Even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder.
Yet again, the foolish fool spouts out more foolishly foolish drabble. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last.
I mean, obviously it's harder to get more entertaining than that time I completely humiliated your father and sent him to prison. But I'll try.
Is that because of your, sesame allergy that you were sleeping, was it? That's right. I, think there were sesame seeds, in the lunch they served that day. I had this, premonition that it was gonna be totally a seedy day. Yes, indeed.
I see. Anyway, you were taking a nap. Did something happen while you were sleeping?
A little later, someone came into my room, really suddenly.
Do you know the time?
Maybe a little before 11 a.m.? Something like that, I think.
11 a.m.?
Yeah, my stomach was totally ready for, food.
No, I think you misunderstand me. I'm not asking what time it is now. I meant what time it was when the someone came into your room.
Oh, so, that's what you meant. You should have been more, clear about it.
My bad.
No, it's okay. It's really...
That's it? Why'd you stop mid-sentence?
Did I? So, what was I talking about again?
Never mind.
Witness, about this person who entered the side room.
Are you absolutely sure it was your sister?
I guess.
You guess? Was it or was it not your sister who entered?
I don't know. I mean, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith.
First off, my name is not Mr. Smith. Second, I'm an only child. But more than that, she's managed to mess up the question with her answer. Well, Mr. Wright?
That was a colossal waste of time. Now then, witness, how did you feel when you saw Ms. Meanie Meanie?
You were happy in a sad way.
Yeah, it was my sister.
Wouldn't most people react with surprise at seeing a dead loved one alive again?
But maybe if I was, someone who didn't know about, the occult. But I, know all about the Curian channeling technique. The point here is the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, what she said. Wait.
So you really didn't think anything strange the whole encounter?
No, like, there wasn't any reason for me to, like, think anything was strange.
She was only covered in blood.
But,
ow! Don't keep badgering her. You know the phrase, objection? Could you try using that once in a while?
Mr. Wright, this question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister, is it really that important?
Your Honor, it is very important. I've got to bluff to make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. She was covered in blood.
All right, Mr. Wright. Miss Minnie, please amend your testimony.
like, okay, I'm, like, totally cool with that. I wasn't, like, scared at all. And her costume looked totally, like, normal.
There was nothing odd at all about your sister's appearance.
Like, yeah, nothing was, like, weird.
Mia's talking to herself like she's found something wrong. That's impossible.
Like, is everything okay? Can I, like, go on?
Let's go with the picture.
Objection!
That was a very well spun lie, Miss Eni. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well constructed, but that's all it is.
Stealing my lines now, are we, Phoenix?
Miss Meany, may I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance.
Like, yeah? And?
But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. The blood spray. Miss Meany, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noticed it right off the bat. Order, order! Miss Meany, what is the meaning of this? Miss Meany?
I'm thinking! Don't interrupt me! What are you stammering about, Your Honor?
Well, that witness. Her personality did a complete 180 there. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. But most of them are lying there, though, honey.
First of all, calm yourself, witness. I'm sorry. I, didn't mean to snap.
Now, hurry up with the testimony. If you please. The judge looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's going to be.
The side room was, kind of dark, you know? So, the costume is, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I, persuaded my sister it wasn't, right to do something like that. And then, I took my sister to the channeling chamber.
I'm sorry, you did what? Yes, now I see. And you have given us a clear reason for why you didn't notice the blood.
You think? Thanks, Gramps.
Are you satisfied, Mr. Wright? All right, I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness.
And
what was your sister, Miss Mimi like at the time? Well, she was like totally flipped out because she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think like she knew, she like said she did something really bad. And like she said she wanted to go with me to like apologize to Ms. Morgan. Did Mimi's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. And then, like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so. I guess maybe, like, taking her revenge on Dr. Gray, like, made her feel a lot better? I'd like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The sooner the better. She says with her whip at the ready. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? May I ask you one more thing, Miss Mimi? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of the place? Something out of place? Like, when do you mean? Pearl. When you were going to the crime scene. I'm talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. She answered rather quickly. Think harder. I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can't. That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court.
Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is all that important?
I ask because it is very important.
Very well. Miss Meany, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony.
Like, I don't get why, but okay. I didn't see anyone on the way to, like, the channeling chamber? Bam. I finally found the fault. Or I guess in your case, the crack in your perfect lie. Take a look at this urn. Like, urn? There are cracks. Do you see them? So, like, what does that prove? Objection! Who cares about some worn-out old urn? Like, yeah. I already, like, said I didn't see, like, anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. I didn't, like, totally say anything about, like, an urn, did I?
It looks like you still don't understand. I propose that if you had really been walking along the winding way at that time, there was no way you could not have seen this person.
Oh, okay. There she is.
Take that! I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Yes, and how is this child relevant? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. Oh. And she just happened to break this urn. Oh. Oh! Wait! She broke the urn? Yes, she accidentally knocked it over with her ball. Huh? And Pearl was the one who put it back together, while sitting right in the middle of the winding way. Oh my god. That was terrifying. I mean, I know it was just her head and her hat, but it looked like a ghost. What? Miss Meany. Huh? Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work, putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. I think I have sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Meany. You are a masterful liar. Ugh! Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Meany, tell us the truth.
About what?
About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course.
The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was, like, sleeping in the side room.
No. There is no way she was sleeping in the side room.
Your lies end here.
What do you mean?
The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible, because there is clearly a contradiction here.
Contradiction? Where is this contradiction? Okay, let me think. I don't think I have any evidence to prove she wasn't there. I think she was in the clothing box, but the clothing box itself doesn't prove it. There must be something in her testimony. Okay, what did she testify? Because she's just gonna say that seeing her sister was a ghost was a dream. So she was just asleep, and it was just a dream. And so she's gonna walk everything back. So there has to be something wrong with the testimony. She testified that she saw her sister confessed to the crime, and then she took her back to the chanting room so that Morgan could separate them. But if it was a dream, she couldn't know that Dr. Gray was shot. She couldn't have known details like Morgan being in the channeling chamber. If she just slept through. So that's the thing. She can't walk it back and say it was all a dream because she knows stuff that she wouldn't have known as a dreamer. It's in her testimony. Earlier in your testimony, Miss Meany, you made the following statement.
And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know?
It's true that at the time, both myself and Miss Hurt were not there. We had gone to call the police.
So, like, what does that, like, have to do with anything?
It's very simple. Miss Meany, how did you know that fact?
How?
I can see that Miss Vey was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Miss Meany, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way.
But the manor guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the winding way.
Yes, that's right, Your Honor. Which is why I asked this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Miss Meany, answer the question.
Don't ask a question off a baseless assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you've put it out on the table, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder?
Now's your chance, Phoenix. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Meeny. So now is the time to prove it. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place?
She was in the channeling chamber.
Miss Meany was here, of course.
What? But that's the channeling chamber.
Isn't that the crime scene?
That's right. Miss Meany was at the scene of the crime. Mr. Phoenix Wright, have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber when the channeling started.
Yes, that is correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Simple. Ms. Eenie Meenie was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Where? Like, where was I hiding? Behind the folding screen. Here, of course.
Behind the folding screen?
Ah! Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See? You stupid jerk! Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slime ball!
No, Miss Meenie. One as young as you shouldn't be saying...
Shut it, Gramps! As if you know exactly how old I am. I know she changed places with her sister.
I'm sorry?
Looks like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this.
Bloop! She's spinning her hat.
Miss Meenie, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. That tiny little box? No person could fit in that!
Sorry, but your theory has already been disproved. Lotta disproved you when she was hiding from me in it.
Cookie? Are you hungry? What's wrong? Maybe the air filter needs replacing a filter or something.
Sorry about that. But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right. I was sleeping there, so I would know. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time.
Huh, Mr. Wright. Do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime?
Yes, I can. Now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. The bullet hole that lines up with the folding screen. Take a look at this clothing box. You're so stupid, as if there's any sort of evidence in that old thing.
This... what on earth?
I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already.
There's a hole, about 8 inches off the ground.
A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before?
Maybe I was supposed to present the box.
The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Miss Meenie, you were hiding behind the folding screen, waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Order! So what you were saying, objection! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Miss Eenie Meenie? That is exactly what I'm saying. Ms. Eenie Meenie, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey.
To masquerade as Maya Fey?
She had it planned from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my client. No, stop! I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case,
Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the scene of the crime, pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene. It's not possible for one person to do all that by herself. Yes, that's correct. Now's the time to name her. It really is impossible for one person to do all the preparations, that is. Ow! Need I remind you, the foolish receive no mercy! Wait! Ms. Von Karma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? What? You can't be serious! Miss Meany, you had an accomplice. This person? If it wasn't someone from Karain Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fey household, you wouldn't have had the box to use. Morgan Fey?
Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier?
What do you have to say to this, Miss Meany? You shot Dr. Gray with your own 2 hands. Do you deny it? I think this is what really happened.
The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then, the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other 2, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then, she stabbed Dr. Gray with the knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened.
Unexpected?
Yes. Dr. Gray was actually not dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that is why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray and...
After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room?
Yes, a gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shot, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Miss Meany immediately covered her own costume with blood and pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Miss Morgan Fay chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry, before there are more victims here.
What is one supposed to say?
This is the real truth behind this murder.
We won! Yay!
Who is that? Laughing at a time like this. Ow!
Oh, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry. Are you still by chance evolving?
What is it this time? Ms. Von Karma?
Surely. Of course it was me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty?
What in the world?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area.
And that is...
If this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Huh? Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act? What reason would she have to do such foolish things?
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Eenie Meenie want to kill Dr. Gray? Where is her motive? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say too. Motive? I don't have a motive.
A motive?
I mean, she's the sister of the dead nurse.
This is not hard.
It's just as I thought. You bore me with your silly answers, Phoenix Wright.
Just great. Now even she is calling me by my full name.
You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death?
Yes! Well, actually, I think you did it for your death, but... because through that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself.
Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing?
What do you mean by that?
Senile, stupid Gramps. I'm, going to explain, so, please listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I, wanted revenge, then, I wouldn't have waited this long. And besides, the guy that thought of the spirit thing was, Dr. Gray. It was, a total coincidence he asked me about it, you know?
She's back to her airhead persona.
Ouch!
Pathetic, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You failed to support your own theory.
Really? That's not how this works. The end.
I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What Miss Meanie has stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated, and she has no motive in the first place.
What are you talking about? Even if she was really Eenie, which I don't think she is, she genuinely believes her sister is dead because of this guy. You've never heard of revenge as a dish best served cold?
Furthermore, there is no reason for Miss Morgan Fay to cooperate with this plan.
There absolutely is. We haven't presented it yet.
You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point.
I have more pieces of evidence indicating it's her than I have indicating Maya. So many faults, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should learn your place.
I thought I had her for sure.
See, it's just as I, told you. I hope you liked your slice of humble pie.
Very well. I now conclude the cross-examination of Miss Eenie Meenie.
What?
Your Honor, please allow the defense 1 more minute.
All right. He just does whatever anyone asks him. You can't lose here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix.
Mia.
Yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder. It's much less than the one that Von Karma had.
But you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime.
Really?
Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. There is a reason why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion.
Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Meanie had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason?
Can I? Can I do this?
Yes. I am not totally confident here, but I know that I must press on no matter what.
That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now.
I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Meanie had a motive.
Too bad. You're too late. My cross-examination has already ended, after all.
Interesting.
I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What? You're supposed to be on my side! Von Karma only cares about the perfect win.
As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I don't care if you are my witness. So help me, I will throw you out of my way.
No way.
Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. I have to go to the bathroom. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene.
Hey, wait a second!
Oh! I guess we're gonna have another one. This has been an hour. And I would like to go to the restroom. I was joking as the judge, but that does sound nice. So I think we will cut here. This is all very exciting! I think we will cut here and come back in the next video. So once again, this is Phoenix Wright. My name is Anna Mardal, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!